I'm gonna go with this. So I think I addressed this in the class. I want to avoid cheating. There are ways we can tell. All right. I don't want to use that system because it created so many problems. But they have refined that system, and we can use that. I'm just gonna do a couple of quizzes, see how things run. Hopefully people have integrity, and I'm sure you do. I hate to even bring this up like I said before. But again, you have access to that. The quiz opens up about 5 minutes before this time. So 5 minutes before 2:30. Make sure you go within that time. We're trying to keep you guys in your official time to take exams and quizzes. So this is the official lecture time, right? So again, it opens up exactly at 5 minutes before 2:30. Once you start, you just pick that open. You have 10 minutes to complete it. When that 10 minutes is done, automatically you're kicked off of the system because you had your time, right? And then I'll send an email. We're going to start class about 20 minutes after that time. So I'll send all the specs for you once all that's figured out. All right, so the way you do this, if you did this last semester, you go to Blackboard and make sure you go to your section. Your section is section A. It's not the one where you have all the slides because all the classes have access to this. Go to your specific section now, section A, which is this section here. Click on it. You go to the Blackboard page, and then it says exams or assignments. Click on that. It's going to say quiz number 1. And yeah, so it's already timed and everything.
Okay.
All right, cool.
I have another question, sorry.
Yeah,
For
no
the
problem.
lab quiz of this week, I know it's about microscopy, but do we need to know the morphology, like the shapes, like rods?
So that's a good question. So I want to focus primarily on microscopes, the parts of a microscope, resolution, nothing about staining. All right. So by the way, your instructor should be communicating specifically with you. I have 2 sections on Thursday, so I'm sending direct communication with them. I've instructed all the instructors to communicate with you what they're going to test you on. But it's going to be microscopy. All right?
Okay.
On Wednesday after the quiz, are you going to do lecture or are we just doing the quiz? Sorry if you already answered that.
No. So we can't skip days. The quiz is just like we just have a regular class. So after the quiz, because again, imagine somebody gets on there like, say, 2:35. They still have 10 minutes to do this, right? So again, the latest would be 2:40, 2:45 or so. So I would give you a specific time when we're going to start lectures again. So after you take the quiz, just be ready to go for lectures.
Mr. Badeshi?
Yeah?
So just to clarify, is the quiz on Wednesday just on chapters 1 and 3?
That's right.
Okay,
So
thank you.
chapter 4, there's nothing on chapter 4 at all. Okay?
Is it staying on chapter 2, so 1 through 3, or just 1 and 3?
As I mentioned, chapter 2 is on molecules, and we skip that chapter because it's something you talk about molecules in practically all your classes. So we don't have chapter 2. All right?
I have a question.
Go for it.
But this one's like way back in chapter 1, and I just forgot to ask about it.
No
so
problem.
you were talking about vital force in like comparing the experiment of Pasteur and Reddy.
Yeah, good.
And what was the vital force that Reddy took away that kind of
all right, that's a good question.
Make his experiment count? Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. I know what you're going to ask. All right, so Aristotle said this. In nature, there's this vital force that just gets into things to create life. And the reason why he said this, he puts meat out there, and every time he comes back, there's maggots. He doesn't see the fly go by, right? Of course, a lot of people didn't believe that. So 2,000 years after Aristotle's hypothesis, here comes along Reddy. He said, I don't believe this stuff. So he did the experiment. He has a flask. He puts meat in there. He didn't cover it with gauze. Fly got in there. He comes back a week later. He sees maggots. Well, that makes sense. Aristotle was right. Then he had the same experiment, except he covered the opening with gauze. And nothing grew. There was no maggots. So he publishes his work. Few people didn't believe him. Why? It's because the gauze, again, gets to what you're asking. That gauze, right, that he placed on the top prevented the vital force from going in. So that's the argument against his experiment. Well, you just changed things here. This is not Aristotle's proposing. You prevented by placing that gauze on there. You prevented the vital force from going. So you have not this spontaneous generation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, good.
Thank you.
Question for Mr. Badeshi. The quiz is just going to be for about chapter 1 and chapter 3, right?
That's right. And you're going to see very simple things. I mean, you're going to be shocked, really. You're going to say, seriously, Badeshi? But this quiz is pretty straightforward, pretty easy. True, false. I mean, you know, if you study what I've said, and I really mean this, you should be done in about 2 minutes. That's how simple this one is. Quizzes are meant to be rapid recalls. You don't have to think much about questions. All right? All right, guys, don't feel bad logging out. I already have your record of attendance. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. We take a quiz, and we finish off chapter 5.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Go onto Blackboard, go to the quizzes, and then log in, and then after that, go to the lecture meeting? Or do I go to...
Yeah, so after you're done with the quiz, it's going to... In fact, if you take more than 10 minutes, it's going to shut down on you, right? Because it's time for 10 minutes. Yeah, once you're done with this, just go back to WebEx, and we're good. I'll see you then.
Thank
So
you.
I'm going to email the class a specific time. So again, starts at 2:30, 10 minutes, that's 2:40. I'll probably say 2:45. Gives you guys some time to log in.
Okay, thank you so much. See you on Wednesday.
All right, take it easy.
Is that specifically?
All right, so let's look at the term. So chemo means chemical. Taxi, you take a taxi to go from one place to the next. This is an easy way to remember it. So chemotaxis is simply this. An organism is going to actually detect chemicals somewhere and it's going to move to it. So chemotaxis simply this. They're going to use a flagella, right? So here's a bacteria that has flagella. It's going to use the flagella to move itself to where the chemicals are. Think about just some glucose there. Well, that's a nice energy source, right? The bacteria can actually detect this. And they say, you know what, I'm going to move there. They're going to use the flagella to get to that point. So chemotaxis is movement towards chemicals.
Professor, I had a question. I think I had a similar situation as the other students. Will the quizzes be under my tab by then?
Yes, make sure you go to your section, section A.
Section A.
Yeah, there's one Blackboard course where I dump all the. This is where you get the PowerPoints. That's for all the classes. I have 3 different sections. They're all together, so I don't have to post that 3 times. And then you have your. This is section A. Yeah, this is section A. So you go to that one. It's gonna say assignments, exams, and quizzes. Just click on the link. It takes you directly there. All right?
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Good luck on the quiz again. Not going to be difficult at all. Do what I say, and you'll be fine.
Hey,
All right. Have a good one.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I had emailed you regarding my current situation,